Hi there, Occupy the Need Act friends. This is William. I'm in Norman, Oklahoma. It's probably 90 some degrees and it's 6:30 p.m. on whatever day this is. that's the that's the question I flunked in the uh, uh, aging by the aging nurse. She asked me what day is it. So here we are. We're out here in my little patio thing, and I've been thinking about the NEED Act and how we're going to get people involved with it. And my friend from Occupy Boston, who's been a music promoter, said, have a music event every Saturday there in Norman. Said the kids will come. You can promote the NEED Act and they'll be there because they've got nothing else to do. And thank you, society that we live in, the culture that the bankers created. Give the kids nothing to fucking do. Okay. So they'll be at the NEED Act gatherings every Saturday. We'll probably have to start. We're going to start small. I need to find five or three hip hop bands. Uh, maybe use it uh, as a as a come on to what they're going to be doing that night, and just have them appear from like 2 o'clock in the afternoon till 5 o'clock in the evening, and that gives them time to get to their event and to their main evening where they can make money. Maybe I can find uh, three hip hop bands here in the Oklahoma City area that when I tell them about the NEED Act and what it'll do, uh, might just get interested in this. And so this is how we're going to get around all the censors. And believe me, we've got censors in the NEED Act, okay, because they're actually Puritans at heart, and won't want what the NEED Act can really do, which is universal basic income of $50,000 a year. It can do free housing for everyone. It can do free medical care for everyone. It can do free transportation for everyone without taxing anyone or uh, without uh, 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 borrowing money from anyone. The money that's created in the NEED Act will be the new dollar, and it won't be a note. Somebody said note the other day, and I said, forget that. That implies debt. There is no debt associated with this new dollar. It will be created entirely by Congress, debt free and tax free. Uh, and that's the way it was set up in the Constitution, because the Constitution followed what how money was created in the colonies. There were the banks create all our money now, and there were no banks in the colonies, none. And uh, so we're following the pattern of the colonies that defeated the strongest military in the world at the time with money that they created themselves. And the French and the English tried to uh, devalue that money. They were sitting out in Boston Harbor cranking out Continentals as fast as they could, and it didn't work. The Continentals still did their purpose. And in fact, they probably helped it because they were putting money into the economy. And what do people do when they got money? They buy things. Okay, so the NEED Act does three things. It nationalizes the Federal Reserve and ends its private ownership and puts it in the Treasury. Okay. The second thing it does is it ends fractional reserve banking, which is the method that the banks use to create money. And the bankers then they now have the power and have had since 1778 when they got this power, which is because Lincoln and Hamilton got it given to them. Yeah, Hamilton, or not Lincoln, Washington, led the army. Lots of people died. Uh, went to, uh, uh, you know, freezing in the fucking weather, and uh, and then gave it all away. The Revolutionary War was really about banks. It was the the Bank of England. The English wanted us to adopt their Bank of England practices and have the bankers be the ones create money. And we said no. We fought a war, and then Washington gives it all away in 1778. Yeah, at the Constitutional Convention. Uh, and guess what? Hamilton and his friends became the first bankers, and Washington became the richest man in the new country in America. And that's just the beginning of the story. Washington and Hamilton knew that the Continentals, that the and the debt certificates of the colonies were going to be honored and bought back by the Congress at face value, and they sent their men out into the colonies knowing this and buying from the merchants and the farmers out there and the mechanics that had invested in these debt certificates, buying them for pennies on the dollar. They bought them back to uh, Philadelphia. They used that money. They got full value for these certificates they bought for pennies, and they used that money to capitalize the first bank of the United States. Our whole banking system was formed in fraud, and we're going to limit that banking system to what they can do. They can loan money, but they've got to have money to loan. They don't have to have money to loan right now. They create the money right then. You want to go in and get that new $40,000 a year or about $40,000 car? Sat down with your banker, and he says, "Well, Charlie, I looked at your credit, and you got good credit. Let's fill out some papers here and see if we're going to get you that car." And he fills out some papers, and they sign them, which is a loan contract. And and uh, and then the banker turns around to his computer and goes like that, punches a button, and then he says, "Charlie, look on your phone. You'll see that $40,000 is in your account." And sure enough, it's there. That $40,000 didn't exist that instant before the banker punched that button. It wasn't in his bank. It wasn't anywhere. He created it right then. It was an accounting entry. Uh, wouldn't that be nice to have that? Well, lots of people have managed to get that power, and it's the power to decide who the winners are and who the losers are. And we never vote for these guys, never. So we nationalize the Federal Reserve, we end the power of the bankers to create money, and then we spend money into the economy for the things that we want. And we needs to be the hippies, the gutter punks, the slackers, the stoners, the skaters that don't want to work. That's who the we needs to be. And we're going to gather the we together with music, dancing, having a good time, uh, fucking. Uh, we're gonna we're gonna have a good time to start with, and that's how we're going to get the Need Act done. We can do these little music events all over the United States in every major city every Saturday, and get the kids involved, the millennials and the new generations. Uh, uh, you don't have to you don't have to be a slave anymore. One guy on Occupy Boston said he wasn't a slave. Well, if he ever read the Need Act and Lost Science of Money by the guy that created the Need Act, he would understand. Yeah, he thinks he's not a slave, but he is a slave. And so let's create a whole new culture, guys and gals. Uh, uh, I'll be trying to figure out how to get this started. I need to know some hip hop bands in Oklahoma City and Norman, and talk with them about the NEAT Act and see if they'll come and help us. Well, I think I'll stop now and finish my ice cream. Let's see, there it is. I got a little gelato and some ginger snaps and a good big drink of water for this hot weather. And I will see you soon. Bye now.